What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fantasy Sports Now. Today I want to talk to you about some third base overvalued and a few busts that I'm kind of worried about. I'm the guy who jumps right into the content, and if you like what you see, feel free to give me a sub, give me a like, just give me a comment, give me something, y'all. Give me something. Alright, let's get into it. Screw it. Let's get into it. First, Nolan Arenado. Okay, so obviously big, huge news for Arenado this offseason. He moves from Colorado, the big hitting Coors Field, to St. Louis, which is not really known necessarily as a hitter's park. That's not really why I'm knocking Arenado. He goes to another good team. He's going to be hitting behind Goldschmidt, and he'll have Dylan Carlson likely hitting behind him. The problem I have is that I feel like people think that Nolan Arenado is a consensus top 3 third baseman when he's really not. I always put him more around, I'm looking at the list right now, I have him more at 6th or even 7th overall offensively. Average draft pick of 27 essentially means that you're getting him in the second or third round in leagues, and it seems like a great value, but would you rather have Bregman? Yeah, maybe. Would I rather wait and get a Eugenio Suarez or even LeMahieu at third base? Maybe. I think that Arenado's going to have a good season, but to be taken at 27th overall, for me, it's too much. Moving away from Coors, I think he's going to be motivated, but I think that a lot of his, his big power numbers, they're not going to come down that much, but they are going to come down. So it's something you have to be ready for and something you got to look after. I like the guys around him more than him, especially in that first 6 tier. So next is actually going to be similar kind of story as Manny Machado. I actually have Manny Machado in my Dynasty League. Absolutely huge year last year. Loved it. I believe in the guy. But we don't want to make a mistake now, because last year he was a super bargain, right? He came off that Dodgers season, and everybody was just willing to give up on him, which is understandable, because he was kind of like I don't want to say lazy, but it seemed like he was kind of being lazy, and it seemed like the move to San Diego wasn't going to be a good fit. It's a hitter's park, and so everybody was really down on Manny, and then all of a sudden he has a massive, almost MVP caliber year, and now everybody just flipped the switch, and now they're way high on Manny. So it's are you way high on him or are you not? So obviously you follow the stats, and last year he was amazing. I can't imagine him having that good of a year again. I do think Manny Machado he's not lazy. Let's get that right. I don't think he's lazy at all. In fact, I think that Tatis and what San Diego is doing is actually helping Manny become motivated. But for him to go 20th overall in front of Rendon, Bregman, even Arenado, I think they're all basically the same. So if you're in a snake draft, I would just wait. I wouldn't jump to get a Manny Machado that early. So I don't think these guys are drastically overvalued, but it's something to keep in mind when you're taking third baseman. Don't forget Bregman. Don't forget Rendon. Don't forget Devers. These guys are all there, and they're all very, very similar. Busts. Okay, to me, these busts are guys that could potentially lose you the league, depending on how much stock you put into them. Let's get into it. Name recognition is a scary thing, guys. Okay, many people know Chris Bryant, and they've always have. His average draft pick here is at 113. That actually seems appropriate, and the reason I have him here is I want to tell you guys, don't go get him just because you recognize his name. Oh yeah, he's got a big name, he'll bounce back for sure. I liked Chris Bryant, and I think that he could be a value if everybody in your league is down on him, but the problem with Chris Bryant to me is that he seems to lack motivation now. The Cubs pretty much screwed him his first few years out of some cash, and he tried to basically sue the league to get his money back, to get those ARB years down, and then he's the talk of all these trades, and it's not happening, and I just don't feel like the motivation is there for Chris Bryant, and I feel like he has been injured so many times that just be wary when you're thinking about taking him just because of the name recognition. Be very careful. Next is actually very similar, if not worse actually, with Justin Turner. Everybody knows and loves Justin Turner. He's got the nice big beard. He just won the World Series. The Dodgers love him. He's a good real-life player, but in fantasy, he's not, and he never really was. He would occasionally have a good year here and there, but he's not even. Honestly, I wouldn't even want him on my bench. I would much rather have some of these guys further down the line, Bryant Hayes, even Carter Kaboom, who I would rather take a risk on and see if he has tremendous upside over Justin Turner, because Turner is real life good. He's not fantasy good, and you have to keep that in mind. Even though you know his name and you know where he plays and you know what he's going to do, it doesn't make him a good fantasy player. And that actually fits in, as you'll see a theme here, that fits in with Josh Donaldson as well. It's the exact same story in every way, shape, or form. Is there a chance that Josh Donaldson returns and has a decent year and gets back kind of in that top 15, top 12? Yeah, sure, because he's been there before, and I think it's possible. But if you're going to reach for a Josh Donaldson instead of an Alec Baum, I don't like that at all, because you're basically taking the name recognition over the upside, and that doesn't work out. In baseball, you need guys with big upside. To start somebody off your bench, they need to have good upside. They need to be able to score some genuine points, and I think Josh Donaldson, with his injury history, and he's got his big payday, he's just fallen from grace for me, and I would rather have one of these up-and-coming guys. That's all there is to it. Alright guys, if you like the content, go check out my other stuff. I would really appreciate it if you want to leave me a comment or anything, guys. Until the next one, see ya.